journal. Hey, um, it is day 5 of my healing chapter, my mustard seed chapter, and it is 7:15 in the morning. Do I still have sleep on my voice? Possibly, but I've been up off and on all night. So, I don't know. Last night I just kept getting beat up with, like, I don't know. It felt like thoughts, but it's like I know I was asleep, so we're gonna call them dreams. But it just felt like I just kept having thoughts as if I was like, as if the thought of, I don't know. Well, okay, so the 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 dream or the message, because that was actually, I guess, words, so that's why it felt like thoughts. But the dream or the message was that this man wants to take care of me and move, like us move in together and stuff. And obviously, with the situation being what it is, I mean, we're only day 5, the beginning of day 5. Um, since he said what the freak he said, and it just, it just doesn't make sense to me, um, to even, first of all, it doesn't make sense to me for that to even have been something that would be put into a dream, and granted, yes, before I went to sleep, I was watching someone speak um, about that or whatever. Um, but yeah, it was like, it felt like it was being hammered into my head. So I'm sleeping and it was like, I don't know, it just kept repeating. It just felt like, that's the only thing that I remember from sleeping last night, which is not, I guess, I most definitely had a dream about him too. But, oh, anyways, so it's just kind of weird to have a dream like that so soon, after some BS has happened. And, I'll be honest, like, I did have a day, like I told y'all yesterday, or like I said yesterday, I definitely text him, and I didn't get any text back. And, there's a part of me that's like, he made a statement that, oh, she thinks that I text you or I answer those texts or whatever. And there's a part of me that questions if he's showing her my text messages or if he's talking to her about the text messages or whatever. Like what was that statement supposed to mean? Like, what was the purpose in that? Obviously, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say obviously he said it to hurt me, because I don't know that. I don't know any of what is going on. But I still sent the text. I still felt like if this is what it might be, like what I feel like it could be, then go ahead and send this text. And I guess if he shows it to her, I mean, oh well. I mean, shit, I can't do shit about it, because I don't know. I can't remember how long you have to unsend a message after you send it, but I didn't get that opportunity. I didn't get wanted to unsend it in time, and I'm not going to say that I wanted to unsend it. I did question it, but it seemed like as soon as I sent it, unsend wasn't available. I have not meditated this morning, so I'll probably meditate when I get off of here, which is probably good to meditate to calm my nerves after I speak. Maybe not. Maybe I should have done it beforehand. I guess we'll see. I don't know. My thoughts this morning, that dream really beat me up. I did not sleep very comfortably. I got up at 3 o'clock this morning. Well, it was really like 2:40. And I think I went to sleep I went right back to sleep, so that wasn't bad, but I did not sleep I was very restless last night. And I mean, in a way, like the dream, like saying he wants to take care of me, and all that, like it felt like I was fighting it off, which is why it felt like it was being like hammered into my head. It was almost like if I push it away, excuse me, if I push it away, then it pushes it back into my head. And that's part of the feeling like, like that's just where the test of faith comes in. So, okay, so let's go to just what kind of morning I've had, and it's only 7 o'clock. As far as my thoughts are concerned, I told you my dreams all night, but then I decided to wake up this morning and scroll Instagram, and scroll social media, because I did Instagram and Facebook, but I was reading a post, and the post was like, it said something about you deserve better, or when you stop chasing, you'll this and that and the other. And I wondered if, because I text him, that put me in a chaser position. Am I chasing him if I reach out and tell him how I feel? Or, not how I feel, but just whatever it is that I said. I basically asked him, not basically, I asked him if we could work this out. Like if there was a way to work this out. And, yeah, I don't know if that makes me a chaser. I don't know. This whole connection, I've not been a chaser. I've not been in the chasing energy, and I guess his thing is he hasn't been in the chaser energy either. He told me he wasn't gonna chase me. And I feel like I feel like I haven't chased him either, because whenever we have been in separation, like if he blocks me, like I don't necessarily like chase so much as cuss his ass out, because if he blocks me, I'm usually trying to cuss him out or something. I mean, I might be asking like why, what's going on, or whatever, but like, yeah, I've done that only a few times, and that's honestly The only reason I've ever texted him after he blocked me is because he's asked me whenever he comes back, why didn't I try calling him? Why didn't you call me? And it's like, you asked me not to call you by blocking me. So how the fuck was I supposed to call you or text you? Sorry, can I say that? But, yeah, so finally I found a way to text him. Like, I thought of a way to text him. And so I would text him just, I don't know, to boost his ego or whatever. Like, you asked me to text, so I would attempt to text, but I didn't know what to say in the text. Like, I mean, it's like I'm a chaser in the sense of, if this is considered chasing. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT what chasing is. Let's see. Because this, well, let me say this first. So I am socialized. No, where did I put it? Where is my ChatGPT at? Why is it in productivity? I have no idea. But okay, so I sent like messages like, when I put 2 and 2 together, I was blocked. And so I sent a message like asking him, what I discovered. Like, I found out that some stuff about his connection, like his phone was in a woman's name who I had seen at his house. Like, I had seen the name at his house on a card. And then I had also seen it on his TV, like as a profile. And seeing it at his house, whenever I was under the impression that he had his homeboy and his homeboy's girlfriend and their kids stayed at the house. That was the impression I was under. That was the impression I was under, and I hate when I do this because like my mind is just, I hate when I start stuttering over things because, one, I'm recording this, and if I was writing it down, it would be, I wouldn't be able to like pause and say but at the same time, I wouldn't be able to get all my thoughts out because writing takes a little bit longer than thinking. So that actually is a good and a bad thing, but for the purposes of what I'm doing, I need to be able to say everything so I can hear it. But either way, so like when I found that out, like I texted him and was like, oh, so who is this? And then, I just was like, I seen her dad like commenting on a post of his that he had showed me, which is how I went and found it. But he showed me this post that he made about being single and how he's like a really great boyfriend and like all this shit. And I'm like, okay, like I called it a thirst trap at first. I was like, like you're posting about how you're such a great boyfriend, like what the F? And so then the girl's dad comments on it and he is like, yeah, I know it ain't easy with the one I got. And it's like, hold on, with the one I raised by myself and da-da-da. And I'm like, that's kind of weird that you commented on a video about this man talking about he's single, but literally putting it out there that your daughter is in the picture. I thought that was kind of weird. I thought it was weird because why are you commenting on this man's post trying to put your daughter, like throw your daughter into this when he's talking about being single and, all of that. Like I just thought that was weird. I was like, not you're going to bat for your daughter, but at the same time, I was like, he also called him like a good guy or something, like, and so when I saw that, I was like, okay, like he's gonna take care. Like I said, I knew that he wanted to take care of me by the way he treated me. So when her dad got on there saying that stuff, I was like, oh, he must really be this decent guy like this, because her dad is going to bat for her on his own. you know? But anyway, so that's the kind of shit. Like, I text about that, you know? Like, oh, you want me to text? Well, check this out. And then, like, the text after that was like, you know, clean your shit up and then come get me, you know? Like, he said he wanted time to clean himself, get himself together. Like, he had stuff in his life he wanted to clean up and all of this. So I was like, yeah, you know, you want me to text you? Okay, well, maybe I'll text you encouraging words. Like, okay, like, you got a bunch of shit going on, but get that shit together and then come here or whatever. And I don't know, maybe as I talk, it's like, it's just, I mean, maybe there is no hope because he's not willing to talk to me. He doesn't talk to me. He would rather block me. He would rather block me when stuff gets fucked up instead of talking to me. But then you can go and talk to all these other hoes, like all these other girls. And I'm not saying all these other girls. Like, literally, it's only been one other girl. I don't know how many other girls that he's actually slept with or messed with, but just the one that's sticking for all the reasons that she's sticking. Court cases, a fake baby. Um, and I'm going to keep saying that baby's not his because then she was pregnant when she met him. Like, I just, it's just, there's no way around that timeline. You know? She found out she was pregnant. Then she slept with this man because she's a whore. That's what she does. She was also pissed off. But, baby, she got this man. And then had the audacity to make him think it's his and it's a girl. Like, bitch, please. But, whatever. It's not about that. The thing is, he does not want to talk to me about the shit. Like, I don't know. He gets an attitude and then he blocks. And then will stay blocked for forever. Like, I don't know how we went from him blocking me. Like, the longest we had gone was a month. You know, and I was like, that's a little intense. But, okay, fine. You know, give us some time to blow off some steam. That's the longest I've ever had him blocked as well, was a month. Um, but you know, 2 months, 3 months, that's insane. And I don't know, it's hard for me to sit here and I'm not, I don't know, I'm steady praying about it. And I can't even tell you what the prayers have led to because it's like signs and synchronicities like all around, you know. I feel like getting those signs and those synchronicities are the answers to your prayers. They're, you know, when you ask God for a sign, you don't usually get that in like a message in a bottle. Usually that comes from your surroundings. And doing that kind of stuff makes it kind of sticky, you know? Or it feels like it's sticky because it's just there's no return of the effort and the faith that you put into something. And so then you go back and you ask, did I misunderstand all those signs? I'm having a hard time with him having my password on. I'll be honest, I was mad at God. I was mad at the universe. That's why I'm having a hard time now praying because I feel violated because of my password being plastered all over him. I feel like I was made a joke of yet again. Like, I've been through some stuff when it comes to, I guess, relations. People in general, I guess, have, but I have my first experience having a friend, a black friend, um, when I was 11 years old. She was supposed to be a friend of mine. There's a little bird on the outside of my window. Hi, little birdie. I hope you're not looking for a way through my screen. Okay. Because those flies do that. I'll make sure my screen is good. But, anyways, there was in 6th grade, obviously I started in middle school, and I was 11, and so this is my first year that I can no longer go to daycare after school, right? So I'm a big girl now. It's my second experience feeling like a big girl, because my first experience feeling like a big girl was when I made it to 3rd grade. Was it 3rd grade? When did they take naps from us? Because that was, that genuinely was a milestone in my life. And then in 6th grade, they take recess away, which is another milestone. But you also took daycare away. So I don't even get after school recess. You know what I mean? So, milestone. But also, I met this friend, and she was a black girl, and I didn't get along with black girls at the time, I guess, or during that year, or the next, and blah blah blah. But anyway, so she was my friend, and I had a crush on this guy that we went to school with, but I had a crush on him from years before that, because we went to daycare together for years. Him and his sister. His name was Zach. I would give you his last name, but I think that would be weird. So, but I had the biggest crush on him. And then we get to middle school, and I still have a crush on him, and I guess I tell my friend about it, because love is supposed to be innocent and freeing, and just, it's just this thing you experience as a young kid, and it's whatever. So I had the biggest crush on him, and I felt like it was safe to express to someone that I had a crush on him, which was my friend, and she was my best friend, and she was his best friend as well. I don't know how long they knew each other or how they knew each other, but they were friends from meeting somewhere, and they talked on the phone every day. She secretly had a crush on him too. Did not tell me that, but she did tell him that he should act like he likes me, like be in a relationship with me and pretend to be my boyfriend, and then break up with me so that way I would stop liking him. I didn't find that out until after he did it. So for me, I don't think that it's illogical to have something dangled in my face for the purpose of taking it away. For the purpose of trying to show me that, I need to let something go. I don't know. I don't know. But I know that he had my password, and then he just ripped my heart out of my chest. And it's like, what else could that be? Like, it's like, why would you put my password on this man? I guess I didn't finish telling the story yesterday, but it was, was I saying? I mean, I don't know what I was about to say. I was talking about my password being dangled on him, and throughout the process, like I said, I prayed while we were together and stuff, but throughout the process, I had asked God, like, okay, God, he doesn't have my password, like I said, there was some sense of detachment from him. And I was like, okay, he doesn't have my password. He hasn't said my password yet. So this is like nothing that I need to worry about. There's nothing that I need to, like, really just be stuck on or focused on. And I've had a sense of detachment from him this whole time. Like, I've always been in a space where, oh no, he can go. He can go. But when I would pray to God, I'm like, okay, he hasn't set my password, so maybe I should just let this go. Not even maybe I should just let this go. It's like, this ain't even, the man for me. He still hasn't set my password. And the messages I would receive from God were like, the conversations that I have, the messages come through differently. So it's like, one of them I got was, okay, but he's not ready, or I got, what if he's not ready? Or, okay, but what if it is him and he's just not ready? What if now's not the time, but he is, so he still has the opportunity to say it, or he could still become that thing, or whatever. And so that message, I guess, resonated a lot with the situations that were going on, because another prayer that I had was, just different prayers. Like I said, I kept them there. But another prayer that I had was that, if he came back into my life, then I ask that you reveal to me what his intentions are, what his purpose is in my life. And when he came back only for a week this time, before we blocked each other again. And so maybe, maybe our timelines feel different, because maybe I'm holding on to even the times that we were separated, and I'm making that into something, and then maybe he is going back and he is only counting the times that we were actually talking. So over the course of these 2 years, maybe it doesn't seem serious to him because he goes and comes out of my life. So there's nothing there. Which, anyways, I don't know. That's an example of how my mind goes to one space. But anyways, he came back for this week, and in this week he was absolutely amazing. He was so amazing. Actually, it lasted a week because I ended up seeing his ex driving his car. That's what ended up happening. So, yeah, he blocked me after we discovered that. Then he ended up coming over here the next day to talk. I was still blocked, and I don't know if he wanted to try to figure out a way through it. I don't know what it was, but we didn't. I don't know. I don't know if he didn't want me in this business, so that's why we couldn't talk about it. But I know when he left, I was like, how do you expect me to, like, let go and let you lead if you have secrets? And he's like, they're not secrets, it's just privacy. And it's like, in one area, like, yeah, I understand that it's privacy because I just met this man. And you're absolutely right. You had 30 years of life before you met me. So you have a whole thing that exists. You have a whole experience that exists that created the person who you are today, and who, reacts and responds and just acts, just is the way that he is because of those 30 years of experience. So I I accepted that, right? I accepted that there was a private matter going on behind the scenes. Um, it becomes an issue when the issue arises. So where you were trying to handle it on your own, God started revealing to me bits and pieces of the situation. And I mean, honestly, like I, every time something got revealed to me, I prayed about it. I, asked about the situation, and every time I ended up getting the answers that I wanted. Instead of me seeing the girl driving his car and then choosing to be hot-headed about the situation, and be like, "Oh, you got another bitch driving your car," da 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 da. We essentially had the little bit of discussion about it a couple times, and then, like I said, I was blocked or whatever, but he ended up coming um, back, and we did get to fully talk about the situations that we had, like the different ones. So yeah, that was one of them. We had a different one when I found out, like when I started putting two and two together, that she may live there, or whenever, because he didn't tell me that was his ex when I saw a girl driving his car. He told me it's his roommate's girlfriend, because that was just one of his cars. So he's like, "That's my roommate's girlfriend. She used it. Maybe she used it or something." Because I had just seen him. He had just been with me, like literally stayed the night with me the night before, got up from my house, went to church, then called me after church so we would like basically meet up somewhere. And I was like, he just wants to see me. So he had me pick something up for him, but by the time I got there, he was on the street. You know what I mean? You knew that you were close enough to get it. You knew that. So anyways, I felt like he just wanted to see me. So we had plans for him to come over. I was going to cook dinner for him that night, like intentionally. This man had told me in this week that I want to say it was the same day, like while we were talking, waiting to meet up, which is how we ended up talking about food, I guess. But he told me that I was going to have to get used to cooking at home more. Like, why would I need to be, hello, sir? I'm going to need to stop being able to lift this finger up so lightly. But anyways, he was so great that week. I got sick that week. He got sick that week. But I got sick that week. And I called him and asked him. It's my first time ever like trying to lean on a man, but he told me to lean on him, and I tried it. I wasn't feeling good. I called him because he had been here the night, the night, and then he got up in the middle of the night and left. And I got sick after he left. Like, I got up and threw up and wasn't feeling too good. So I called him and texted him the next day and was like, "Hey, I'm not feeling good. Would you mind bringing me some food? Like, can you bring me some soup and some stuff?" And he called me and was like, "Do you want some pho?" Y'all, I thought he was gonna go like buy me some soup. Like, even if he would have went and got like, like some soup from a restaurant. Like, all these restaurants have soup year round. But no, he called me and asked me if I wanted pho. Then sent me like a list of places that served pho, told me to pick one. Then I picked one. He pulled the menu up. Like, mind you, all this on the phone. He pulled the menu up and was like, "Okay, what do you want?" I picked some food. He called and ordered it. and went and got it. Then asked me if I wanted, like, what kind of juice and stuff I wanted. Went to the grocery store, got me some juices and stuff, and brought it over here. Then, as I'm sitting there, oh no, this is a different day. Or maybe the same day, I don't know, but sometime during that week, I was sitting there and I told him that my Wi Fi got cut off because I didn't pay the bill. And he just picked his phone up and just sent me money. And he had been asking, like I said, this man showed me that he wanted to take care of me. Um, Before this week, actually, I knew he wanted to take care of me. But in this week, he took care of me. He even, whenever I was sick, he came and he cleaned my living room, like swept my house. You know, I'm not gonna say he like got to scrub and stuff, but the second day that I met him, I was cleaning out my air fryer. He was inside the house, and he just politely moved me out of the way and cleaned my air fryer for me. So when I got sick this day, that was when we first met. So this is now like 4 months later. So I met him in, it doesn't matter. It's all when we first met. Like at this point, it's 2 years later. So all of this is within the first 6 months. So, anyways, but yeah. So I had prayed about him showing me who he was if he came back, and this is what he did. He took care of me. That's what he did when he came back. He took my car, got it cleaned. Like he has a membership at, or had one, I don't know, at the car wash. And I had told him before, like I had said it, I wasn't necessarily joking, but I was trying to make it come off like a joke. So nothing serious, because I again don't know how to lean on a man for help. Like I can call my dad and ask my dad for help and talk to my dad about stuff, but that's my dad. I didn't necessarily call, I've never called a man or depended on a man to help me in times like that, right? I just kind of, if I'm in the situation, then I'm just stuck there and I got to figure it out myself. And so I said it in a very joking manner. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I hope that it didn't mess anything up. But I said it in a very joking manner, like, would you clean my car out? Like, I'll pay, or something like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's what I said, because I'll pay is like, I'm not expecting anything of you, but I really don't feel like vacuuming my car out. And anyway, so this week we were like together all day, every day, pretty much. Even though he left and like was doing his own thing, we still were finding ways to meet up. And he like had me meet him at a place. He was already in the place by the time I get there, because I was working. So he had me like stop in and meet him somewhere. And when I walked in, his jaw like visibly hit the damn ground, fool. Like, dude, his mouth literally, like his jaw dropped. And I'm seeing him like just staring at me, but I don't necessarily say anything, because I'm like looking at me, and then the guy he's talking to was like looking at me, but I was like, what? And he was like, you look good. And I was like, oh my God. And that's one thing too about him. He always, always, always compliments me. And like, he always compliments me, but he also has bad attitude. So he says little stupid shit too, but that's everybody, right? But he always compliments me. He always tells me that I look good, or how beautiful I am, or, like, he just does. He always just does. And so he was like, you look good, or whatever. And then the man was like, I knew you were his girlfriend. He said, from the time I seen you pull up or get out of the car or something, he was like, I knew that y'all were together. And I was like, how? Like, why? Like, ugh. And he was like, cause y'all just go together. And it's like, that's crazy. I've been in the store for all of 2 minutes. Like, what do you mean? And then after that, we were leaving, and he he has sent me outside to go talk to the dog, y'all. I don't know if he wanted me to stop talking to that man. But he was like, go check on the dog. So I went outside to talk to his dog. Like I was told to do. Like, you mean? Am I supposed to say that? But anyways, and so then when we were leaving, he made a statement about his car needing to be cleaned, and I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I need to wash. I need to clean my car out too. And he was like, well, come on, I'll take you. Um, and so we go, and he uses his membership to get me a car wash. And like the lady told him, like, if you get one now, you can't get two right now. He was like, she said you're gonna have to wait like an hour or two or something like that. And so next thing I know, he's giving her his number, and he was like, go ahead. And I go through, get my car washed, and when I come out, he immediately, like, I park next to his car, and he immediately takes a towel and just starts drying my car off. And I was like, oh my God. And then he opens my car and he starts vacuuming my car out. What? Like, I mean, that was just, and then he made me go over there to the people and do something, because they have people outside that do something to your car. So he had me like go over there to them because they're supposed to do something, and then I came back to him. Then we went and got food, and we walked inside, and I didn't get food. I wasn't hungry, but I went with him to get food. So we walk inside, and he orders his food, and as we're waiting, like, I don't know if I was getting ready to say something about a kiss, or like I was getting ready to say something about a kiss, but I had, like, I don't know if I had started talking or what, but we were holding hands first of all, and then as like I was getting ready to talk, like say something about a kiss, like mid sentence he just like sucks my face in. I was like, yeah. Like, I don't know if this is what it's like being with him. Like, sign me the fuck up. Can I say that? Like, and I mean immediately. And he comes back later, months later, a year later, and tells me that basically that he knew that I just wanted to move things like really quickly. But that's not true, because he asked me to be his girlfriend 2 different times when we first met, and I told him no both times because I wanted things slow. He said, well, when I like something, I move fast. And it's like, yeah, but I need things slow because of obviously all the shit that we're going through right now. But I don't know if I would have jumped on the train early. No, it probably would have been. I don't know if it would have been a train wreck or not. Maybe I missed my chance, because when he asked me to be his girlfriend that soon, I was like, no, but maybe not though, because you asked me to be your girlfriend like within the first week, and to me, it's like, I don't know you to be your girlfriend. Like, that's a commitment, you know? And then he asked me again maybe the next week, and he was like, all right. He said, the next time you're going to ask me. Okay. Well, anyways, maybe I missed my opportunity then. It's like, I genuinely, anyways, I forgot where I was. Let me try to focus back in. Like I said, I prayed to God about this situation. God showed me, revealed to me what it is, what his intentions are with me. Show me what it is so I can know how to show up for him. And even in that week, like I told you, I seen the girl driving his car, and I wanted to talk to him about it, but he didn't want to talk to me about it, I guess. And I feel so bad, because my friend is actually who helped me. I just seen 444 on the timer. But my friend is the one who helped me when the situation got sticky. She was like, you should have played it cool about the girl instead of calling him. Like, you should have asked him about it later. And Then she was like, tell him, you don't want to fight or anything. You just want to talk about it or whatever. And he ended up coming over here and talking. But when he called me, he told me, I'm still like, through with you. Like, I'm still not fooling with you. But, like, the night before, I had bought us some alcohol. More so him, but I had bought some alcohol for us to, just chill and drink whenever we were hanging out. But we actually never ended up opening the bottle. We just, chilled or whatever. So he called and he's like, I'm actually not, like, I'm still mad at you. I'm not dealing with you, but I'm stressed out and I need a drink. Like, can I come get a drink? Yeah, you know. And so then I prayed to God about that, and I was like, how do I handle this situation? Like, how do I navigate in this, God? And I mean, maybe I didn't finish listening, um, or, maybe I should have continued praying throughout, like, that. But my first step was, because at first when he's like, oh, I'm done with you, da da da, I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna just take him this little bottle and like some stuff that he had around my house. I'm gonna just give him that and, be done with it. I think I looked a mess. I don't even think I had showered that day yet. And it was, which is bad because it was like 9 o'clock at night. But I don't even think I hadn't showered. And so I was just gonna give him his stuff, and then I was like, no, pray about it. Pray about it. God, how should I navigate the situation? How should I handle this? And God told me, one, I needed to be feminine. I needed to maintain feminine character. I needed to be open to talking, or not even that. Like, that's not how I accepted it. I accepted it as being feminine, so that meant being soft and gentle, being in this kind of like alluring energy. And I was like, okay, like just sitting there being receptive to that message, the answer to my prayer. And God ended up telling me to go get him something to eat, to buy him some food. Now, I have never bought him food, ever. Mind you, like at this point we're 4 months in, like genuinely never bought him food. Yeah, October, November, December. So we're 3 months in, but we're in December, so it feels like 4 months because we met at the beginning of September. But no, 3 months because it was definitely before Christmas. And yeah, this was the week before and after Christmas. So this wasn't a week. Well, there was just one really good week. Anyways, it was December. And I had never bought him food. Like I said, like I actually wasn't even the one that called him back then much. He was the one who did most of the calling. We saw each other mainly, but he didn't let me buy things for him, Like I bought him a lemonade and he turned around and was like, bought me food. And then I bought him something. I tried to buy him food one time, I think, like use my money instead of his. And he caught on to it and was like, you think I don't know what you did? And then turned around and like bought me something back. Like, anyways, but God told me to buy him some food. And so I did. I didn't have any money. Really, I had to go to the store to buy my daughter some clothes for her uniform for school. She needed some more pants because she had ran holes and played holes into her uniform. And so anyways, so I didn't really have any money, so but still bought him some food. He showed up, like an hour after. Like, I had to call him and be like, "Are you coming?" Um, but I don't even know if I was blocked or not. I think I was blocked, so I don't think I got anywhere with that. But yeah, when he showed up, I gave him his stuff, and then I handed, like, not his stuff. Well, yeah, his stuff, like the alcohol and whatever else. And he had brought his dog with him, which his dog, like, I don't know, to me, I feel like he got the dog because of me. And I say that because when I blocked him, like, he, I don't know, I think I hurt him, but maybe not. Like, I don't know, maybe though. But when we came back, like, I only had him blocked for 2 weeks. Um, at this time, and when he came back, he had got a new car. So this is when he got his second car, or technically third, because he already had his car and his motorcycle. But he got his third car, and he came back with a dog. He's like, I got this kind of car, and I got this dog. It's my favorite car, like a childhood favorite car, and that is my childhood favorite dog. But that is my favorite dog. But he got them, and he's like, I got this dog because I need to learn how to be more gentle. I want to learn how to be gentle and talk to people. And, I think he's even made some statement about if he wants to raise kids, he wanted to work on, how he talked. And mind you, he's already, like, the girl that was living with him that is now his ex was at one point his girlfriend, before they lived in this space that they lived in. And she has 2 kids. So, and he also has a kid too. So for me, I kind of was like, he obviously hasn't been working on that with her, and they're not together. So, maybe it's not really even relevant, or, they weren't together. They're still not, but they don't live together anymore. But anyways, um, he said that, um, and he hasn't, they had kids, like, the girl had kids. So for me, it's kind of like, this is coming after you have told me that you see yourself fasting, like, you need to fast, because he felt like he needed to do a cleanse after we met, like. And then, after you're telling me that you need to clean some stuff up in your life, and so you get this dog, and I absolutely love the dog. You bring the dog around. He's let my daughter watch the dog. Like, I think, and it's not our dog, obviously, but that's my baby. I love that dog. And so he had the dog with him, and it was funny because one of the messages that I got was that if he brought the dog with him, that it was like a peace offering or something. Like, I can't remember exactly, but the dog was a sign that, like, he was in his feelings, like he was in his space. And so I gave him the food, and he was like, I've not ate all day today. Mind you, it's like, I don't know, 9-10 o'clock at night. And he's like, I have not ate all day today. Or maybe it was 11. I don't know. And I'm like, okay, And then I was like, can I say goodbye to Rocco, or can I, oh God. Anyways, so I asked him if I could, say, see the dog or something. I don't know. And I went around to the side, and I thought, to the other side of his car, I thought he was going to let the window down for me to just, pet the dog and go on. But he reaches across and opens the door for me to get in. So I sat inside, and we talked a little bit, about him wanting privacy and my expectations for sharing my body with someone without protection. I should be able to ask you if you're sleeping with other people and us have that kind of talk and, whatever else kind of thing. And I don't know, like, I walked off, I think, and um, I think it got to a space where I ended up just walking off, like, okay, if there's no moving forward from here, then I went in the house. And I expected him with his hot-headedness to just go on with his business, but he actually called me back and was like, you're such a sweet girl, like, da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, you didn't call me back to say anything positive. And he's like, that's when I asked him, how can I let my guard down? And you have secrets. Like, that's not making me feel safe, So anyways, I prayed and God asked for God to reveal, and that's the reveal that I got. I got all of this on top of even him trying to converse about the problem. And yeah, like, I was blocked, but like I said, after that I ended up texting him because at that moment I decided I did want him, and if he felt like he wanted to be texted to reassure him, then I didn't have a problem texting him. So I started trying to text him through, the different things. Like I did it through Cash App, and he called me on different days. So it's like I text him through Cash App, but he would call me back and we would talk about stuff. And I think that lasted for about 2 weeks until he unblocked me. And, still we weren't talking, but he had me unblocked. No idea why. And then now here we are. And he doesn't have me blocked. He just straight up ghosted me. And then you call me out of nowhere to say that. I'm gonna genuinely have to go in and talk about this thing, and I just hope that I can view it objectively and not like use it as another form to like pull myself closer to him. But yeah, like, I don't necessarily know if I have abandonment wounds. What did I say I was gonna ask ChatGPT earlier? I don't remember. I finally found it, but okay. So I just asked ChatGPT how to heal abandonment wounds. Okay. And it says, number 1, understand the origin. Reflect on where your abandonment wound may have started. So, okay, that might be kind of hard for me because I didn't realize that I had an abandonment wound until I was talking to my friend, and I was telling him about I don't know, situations in my relationship that I was in. My last relationship, which was actually my only adult relationship. It lasted for almost a decade. Yeah, I would say it lasted for about 8.5 years. So just shy of a decade. And I was very young when I got into that relationship, and I've only been out of that relationship for a few years now, like 5 years. And it has, oh God, I'm like, so I just need to pray. And I say that, but God is not enough. You know, sometimes it's just not. Like, sometimes you want the answer right then. Anyways, I was talking about how I felt abandoned. I was talking about something that had happened in that relationship that made me feel abandoned. I don't necessarily know if that means that I have an abandonment wound. But um, I don't know. I don't know. Let's. I can't. I'm not. I can't even go into that right now because that's not exactly where I am with my process. I'm gonna have to go into that once I feel the trigger of the abandonment wound, and I'll probably have to do that on a different video because I've already reached my hour. Not my hour, but an hour, and I'm kind of out of things to say. I don't really know if this was a productive entry thus far. It was productive for getting things out of my head, but I'm pretty sure once I close this and I stop talking, I'll be in a different space. We will see. Yesterday for dinner, I had pot stickers and potato salad. Because I've been craving that potato salad, I just have not made anything to eat with it, so I mix the two things. But other than that, is this a safe space?